Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Prodigy from Kilo23. Today we're checking out a pretty new gun to the airsoft market. This is the E&L AK74 MN. Now the E&L AKs are probably some of the most realistic on the market and unbelievably very affordable, running anywhere from $300 to $385 depending on the model you get. I believe the 74 model, which is the one I have here, the 74 MN, runs kind of in the middle range there, somewhere around 340, 350 in there. Now, before we get started on how really awesome this gun is, let's actually check out everything it comes with, which really isn't quite a bit, so you won't have to wait too long for me to start talking about this really cool gun. Being a pretty bare bones package, this gun isn't going to be like a starter kit. It does not come with a charger, battery, BBs, anything like that. It's a pretty bare bones gun, and it comes with exactly what you need. E&L kind of expects you to have your battery, your charger, all that stuff set up when you get this gun. As far as paperwork for this gun goes, it comes with a decent amount, and it's actually in pretty good English, so I'm pretty happy there. Get your instruction manual here, and it doesn't give you a whole lot of info on usage of the gun, just the basics, hop up, shooting your gun, hooking up your battery, things like that. It's in good English, so you shouldn't have a problem. Next up is your registration card. You can always fill that out and send it in E&L if you want. Lastly, you do get a quality control card from E&L. They've stamped this off and they put their seal of approval on it. Gives you a little bit of peace of mind, showing that it was tested at the factory and it wasn't just thrown together and shipped out hoping it works. They tested it, it does work, and it does work to their standards. The only thing I did not like is that it is in meters per second, not feet per second. We in the US actually use feet, not meters, so if you want to convert that, it's a little bit of math for you. Now, something kind of unusual, not a lot of guns do this, but it did include a steel flash hider with it. That's kind of a nice touch for me. Now, something a little unusual is you do get a fake little oil can here. If you want, you can probably put some spare parts or something in there, but it's really not a necessary thing for the gun. Kind of a cool touch, but I'd personally never use it. Now, I watched a lot of reviews on this gun before I ended up getting it in the mail, and I was really expecting to get a flash mag with this gun because every review I've seen says, oh, you get one of the ripcord flash mags with it. And it's going to be a high cap mag. But no, this one actually comes with a mid-capacity magazine. I find it holds about 100 rounds or so, more or less. Now, what I was really disappointed with this magazine is that it was really dirty when I got it. I had to take a paper towel to it and remove a lot of dirt, and it wouldn't feed at first, a single BB. And BBs wouldn't even go into the hop-up. I'd feed it, and there's nothing popping out. So I actually had to open up the magazine and check it out, and it turns out there was a ton of really, really dark brown lubricant in there. It was really thick, it was gunking up the BBs, and it was really bad for the magazine. So I cleaned all that out, put some really light silicone lubricant in there for the BB and the spring to feed well, and it works pretty well now. It doesn't feed super consistently as I'd like, but it works well enough for testing. Now, with all the included contents of the gun out of the way, we can check out the gun itself. Now, this version of the gun, being the AK74MN, has a folding stock. It's made of a really nice polymer, as is the pistol grip and handguard on this gun. It does have a really nice, actually quite firm sling loop right here. So whenever you fold the stock, it's going to be on the left side, so if you're righty, it can sling down really easily. Folding the stock on this gun is a pretty simple affair. Flip it over. On the left side, there's a button right here. Press that, fold it over, and it will click into place very easily. It does not wobble whatsoever, and if you want to unfold it, there's a button on the end of the stock here. Press that and fold it back in. Now, even extended, this thing is rock solid. Now, with the stock out of the way, we can move up to the receiver of the gun. This guy is beautiful, made out of all stamped steel. Even has that factory greasy smell of an AK. It's beautiful. The right side of your receiver is going to have your selector. Top is safe, middle is full auto, bottom is semi. Now this thing clicks into place very nicely, much more so than most other brands. It's just fantastic, feels very realistic. Now, one of my favorite things on this gun is the bolt. It is beautiful sounding. Also made of steel, so it's very sturdy, just like all the metal on this gun. It is very much steel. It has a full bolt pull and it sounds fantastic. Underneath your bolt, you do have the hop up, And something really nice they did with the hop-up is they put little notches and numbers on here. So if you got a specific hop-up setting and for some reason you have to deactivate your hop-up or turn it off, you can very quickly go back to that hop-up setting. Left side of the receiver, you do have a scope mount right here. So if you want to pop your scope or something on there, your dot sight or whatever you want to do, you have the ability to do that. Only thing that's not going to work is if you want to fold the stock and have your dot sight on there, it doesn't quite work. Now, getting your magazine into your gun can be a bit of a tricky thing. It has to fit into a very specific small notch there, and I've actually had some trouble doing it on occasion. So you got to be kind of picky with it. Not a lot of mag wobble, which is great. Release, just right there, and a couple of BBs will of course fall out. A couple of small details I wanted to point out. Pistol grip, very nice texture, I really like it. I just wish it were a little more rubberized like some of the other brand AKs, but I'm just being picky there. The trigger itself. Now, I've seen a lot of aftermarket pot metal triggers break, and it's kind of a pain to replace them. They cost like 10 bucks aftermarket. This one is actual steel, so it should not break on you anytime soon. The rear sight on this gun, very adjustable, very easy to use. Just push these small dials in right here, and you can adjust it forward or backwards depending on what your range is. It's going to be a little more applicable to the real one than the airsoft one though. And you will of course have your front sling loop here, also made of steel, and it's a little bit wobbly, but it's not too bad. Front sight on this gun is only adjustable for elevation, so pretty easy usage right there. Now, your orange tip on here is going to be very big. It's quite big and plasticky. Now, you're probably asking, where's the battery stored? No, it's not in the stock. It's actually under the cover here. Press the button in the back here to take it off. Comes off very easily, and you are going to have your battery storage compartment right here. It does have a mini Type Tamiya connector. I really wish they would have included some Dean's connectors on here instead. That would have just made everything a little more streamlined, a little more universal. And you do get a 30 amp fuse in here. This one's a little bit different than most fuses. Still can find it pretty easily, I believe. It's kind of nice I did throw in a 30 amp fuse instead of like a 15 or 20 or 25 even. It's very rare that I blow these unless I'm actually running something really, really powerful. This is far from super powerful, so that'll last a while before you have to replace it. You will be able to fit most stick type batteries in here, and you will be able to fit a longer battery in here, 10-8, 12 volt if you want up in here. I don't recommend running this gun on a high voltage battery like that though. For this test I'll be using 0.2 gram rounds and a 7.4 volt stick type battery. Now let's check out the rate of fire on a 7.4 volt battery. Looking at about 12 rounds a second on a 7.4 volt. Now, as you guys just saw, the gun chronoed roughly 370 feet per second, which is great for field play. Now in the internal review, we're going to check out some of the other stuff in this gun, obviously the gearbox, the motor, etc. So we'll see what's making this gun shoot at that speed specifically. Thanks guys for watching. Come back next time and enjoy the rest of the series on the E&L AK74MN.